This podcast is part of the Pull Up a Chair podcast network. Let's build community through connection, conversation, and collaboration. This podcast is sponsored by Ep4 Consulting, editing with a purpose. Check them out at ep4consulting.com for a free consultation. Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Scooter. Thanks for pulling up a chair with us.
We are not experts on any of these topics, but we are hoping to spark something.
Like an idea, a conversation, or even a revelation.
Well, let's give it a shot.
Let's talk about stuff.
Hello.
Hello again.
Hiya.
She did it.
I had 2 highs.
Oh my gosh. I love the hi-yas.
Right?
Can you do it one more time?
Hiya.
Yes. It's my favorite. Makes me giddy.
That's how I greet Ginger.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. Maybe we'll have that kind of episode sometime, too.
What?
Like an animal episode.
Oh, jeez. No.
That's Ginger.
You'll cry.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
But I might need to do that sometime.
That's true.
It's cathartic.
That's true.
Well, hello. This is our intros. This is what we do for intros.
It's about how it sounded 5 seconds ago before we hit record.
Yeah, we just ramble and say hello.
Yeah.
To everyone out there that's listening. And if you're not listening, then you're not hearing what we're saying anyway. So what?
Don't know, now you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. If you don't know, now you know.
Yeah.
Or you at least got our opinion on it.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, welcome back, everyone. This is our so-called podcast.
Yes. It's really just like our talk therapy.
Yeah. We're just talking through
Yeah.
stuff. See if you guys like it. We'll see what happens.
I'm super excited for today.
Oh, she's really excited about this episode. I'm not right now because all of a sudden I have something in my throat and I feel like I need to cough.
Oh.
And that's the worst thing to do when you start a podcast out. And I was like,
Yeah,
I
no
have to cough.
one needs that.
Nobody needs that.
No. Mute yourself. Oh, you did it on here.
I think I'm good.
All right.
Well, hello. We got to come up with something though first.
Good things. Good thing. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Either way, what do you want to flip a coin? Do you want to thumb wrestle?
I'm just going to go.
Okay.
I think that's the safest route. So my good thing is that I am growing my business, and it's exciting and scary because there's so many businesses I'm a part of right now, but one of them is growing, and I'm traveling to Texas with my business partner to potentially meet another business partner to hopefully get things rolling even faster. So it's scary and exciting and all of those things that exist when you're growing your business and stepping out of your comfort zone.
I love that you did that as a good thing because we are going to have a small business episode in the future. Today is not that day.
No.
But how many businesses are you part of?
Oh, gosh.
5?
4?
Because I think I lured you into a few of those.
You're right. Are we counting nonprofits?
Sure.
6?
All right. So we won't concentrate too much on that because we will have a full episode on that in the future. Stay tuned. That's awesome, babe, because I always get excited when you do that. I always try and be involved, but not too involved. It's really hard for me.
I know.
It's so
because you're
hard.
very opinionated.
Yes, and we will get to that episode, but I was like, I love that you mentioned that.
What's your good thing?
My good thing here is I'm going to take off a last episode. Sarah said it was because she got to hang out with friends. Guess what? Scooter got to do that too. And the cool part about it was people that don't give me social anxiety, people that I've known for a while, and we all did our COVID tests, and we did our vaccinations, and we hung out. And honestly, the most fun of the evening was we went down this rabbit hole, mostly led by me.
Yes.
Yeah. Of music. And if anybody knows, that music drives me to do everything.
Yes.
it is amazing to me. But we went down like the rabbit hole of Alice in Chains and Mastodon and Metallica, some of these other people that some people didn't know about, like Liv Warfield, and some of these artists that I really, really love what they do. And I got to share them, and then they got to give me the opinions of theirs. Like, what's your favorite? We did the whole, what's your favorite Van Halen song? And, that's how we played that. And we discussed some things, and it was almost a podcast in itself.
Yeah.
It was really off topic of what we were trying to do in that evening as hanging out as friends. But that was amazing. It was very cathartic to me because I feel like I don't express myself to other people very well, and when I do, it's usually through music or writing or something to that effect. So,
and people also have to understand, Scooter has been stuck with the 5 of us in this, the 4 other people plus the dog in this house for the last year. So musically, we've heard it over and over and over and over, and we love the music. But at some point, we're like, Scooter, I can sing this song in my sleep. I'm gonna need you to move on to a new song. But then new people came over, and then he got to share it all over again, and the rest of us were like, this is so nice. We get a break. And we love music in this house.
We do have music on most of the days. We make sure that happens. But I'm a very seasonal person when it comes to music.
Yes.
So I will beat a song into the ground for other people.
Yes.
Not for me. It's
right.
Therapy for me.
Right.
It really is therapy for me. So that's my good thing. I got to see some people that I haven't physically seen in a long time, and we got to share a lot of things about what we're doing, and just our laughter and our silliness and the stuff that, when you hang out with friends consistently for a while, you almost get a little annoyed because like they say the same thing all the time. If you take a pause from hanging out with me, it's a lot more fun the next time. Yes, I was talking about me. So realize that anybody that's listening to that is, if you want to hang out with Scooter, take me in small doses. I'm like hilarious.
Every 3 months.
Yeah. I'm hilarious and fun to hang out with.
Yes.
If it's frequent, you have to be patient. That's my good thing.
Good job.
Why, thank you.
So what are we going to talk about today?
Advise me not. The Advise Me Not section this time is making Sarah giddy.
Yes.
This is her lane. When we talk about some of these, we share a lot of opinions on a lot of these topics. But some of these topics are going to be driven by one or the other. Most of the single person topics will be Sarah's.
Yeah.
Realistically. And what is the topic of today?
We're going to talk about menus.
Menus?
Yes.
You mean like going to like Red Robin and understand what's on the menu, or?
No.
I'm confused.
Like cooking your own food and how to make your own menu so you don't eat out like every day of the week. Multiple meals.
That's insane.
It's the best.
No, this is all you, because you have taught me so much in this. I will only interject towards the end.
Okay.
Probably in this one.
So I feel like there's a few avenues to take when you're making a menu. I have been making menus for as long as my children have been alive. So 17 years. I literally make a menu every single week. I know what we're going to have for dinner. I know what's in the house. And that's how I live life. So I've gone to the point where, like, I go to the farmer's market every week, and whatever meat we're going to have, I buy there, and I base my whole menu off of whatever meat they have at the farmer's market. Before this, I would base whatever meat was on sale at the store. Life's gotten a little different in the last couple years, so we've been doing way more, like, farmer's market purchases than we have grocery store. So once you know your protein, and it doesn't have to be meat, if you're going to do beans, if you're going to do tofu, whatever it is, once you have your protein, then you build what you want. But I always feel like when it comes to making your menu, you have to build, like, one, what's easy for you, right? And then also, what can you make that is within your time frame? Because I think people have this idea of, hey, this is what I'm going to have for dinner. And they get in the kitchen like, well, it's going to take me an hour and a half and I don't have time for that. Me either. I rarely spend an hour and a half in the kitchen. If I'm in there, it's because I'm avoiding people. So when you make your menu, pick like your cuisine. So like we usually have some kind of Asian-inspired dish, Italian-inspired dish, a meatless Monday dish, which necessarily isn't even on a Monday. Because it's winter, we usually have a few like soups and stews. We have something crock pot because Scooters are crock potter. And then usually, especially for the last year, we've had a support local dish. Our support local is either we buy our whole meal out or we'll make like a curry and then we go buy our naan out. Or we'll make our naan and go buy our curry out. But it's something where we're like, we're going to support a local restaurant in our community is our big thing. What else to our menu? Keep staples in your house. So whenever you're creating your menu, like I feel like for us personally, we always have vegetables. Every single meal that we make has some kind of vegetable component. So whatever's in season, buy that vegetable. If you're going to do your meal for 7 days a week, pick 7 different vegetables that you know how to cook, you enjoy eating, and you're going to be able to incorporate in your meal. And then make that work for your menu. I grew up eating like a meat, a starch, and a vegetable for every single meal. And it's kind of how I cook almost now. Scooter's more of like he wants a meat and a vegetable. Like the starch he could care less about. But for me, the starch kind of like you don't have to have so much meat if you have more starch. Well, you can have more vegetables instead of the starch. Do you have any thoughts on this so far?
Oh, I have tons.
Okay, go ahead.
So I wanted to go back. The thoughts I was like, when you mentioned me doing the crock potter,
yeah,
that's because it's super easy. Like if anybody out there has not discovered the crock pot, or you have a partner or a roommate or whoever that you live with that claims they can't cook or is like, I don't know how to do that. No, they're lying to you and they're finding an excuse to get away from it. That was my way of getting out of cooking my whole life. No joke. And you can ask my sister that. You could definitely ask my sister, I don't know how to make eggs. So she'd make them. It was awful. But you have to look at, like, if you talk about me being the crock potter, you throw a protein in there, you throw some vegetables in there and some starches, and you push a button.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I think when I do a crock pot, the seasoning I put in there, this is no joke, I put salt and pepper.
Yeah.
That's it. And they turn out great because it's slow cooked all day. And it could be beans for your protein.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be meat.
No.
Ours is primarily meat, but we've done also meatless ones. So that's a big one. The avoiding people, that was hilarious to me because we know in this household that somehow through some magical portal or something, Sarah can make a full dinner in 30 minutes.
Yes.
Nobody's figured out this formula. And the funny thing is, it's not a secret formula because she doesn't even know the formula. She just goes in there and like looks at stuff and go, this is what we're having, and throws it in a thing and makes sure that all of it's done perfectly. So there is some magic behind it, but the avoiding people in the kitchen, if she's in the kitchen for over an hour, just let her be in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Because she's either catching up on a show that she's watching, sitting on a chair while something's simmering. That's her zen moment. So yes. She's not necessarily cooking at that point. No. She's rebooting and refueling.
Yes.
So let her know that. That's communication, though. That's one of those things like that she told me. Hey,
stay out of my kitchen.
My kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she doesn't say it that way. She doesn't say it nicely.
No. I said, get out of the kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
That's usually how I say it.
Yeah,
to everyone. Everything.
Doesn't matter who it is.
No.
And the staples. When you talk about the staples, understand what your specific staples are.
Yes.
They will change.
Yes.
They will evolve. And they're different in every single household.
Definitely.
Our staples are going to be way different. I feel like our staples are definitely meat, because of the farmer's market now.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's not always been. But staples are always spinach.
Yes.
We always have spinach in the house. Bananas.
Yep.
It's just something we always have. Of course, the spices. We have the basic spices. We always have quite a bit of them.
Yes.
Onions.
Always.
Always have onions. Gosh, what are some of the other staples that we, just us specifically?
So I'm from the Central Valley, so I always have stuff in my house to make salsa. At any point of any day and any week of any year, I always have stuff to make salsa.
Do you know, this was a saying when we were dating that I used to say. I was like, do you know what the best thing about chips and salsa is?
What?
Chips and salsa. I'm not even joking. That was my staple love.
Yeah.
And then when we started like sharing space, like living in the same space, you can make salsa by yourself.
Right.
You can make these things at home.
Yes.
So, as a broader subject on how to make a menu, here's my last input before you have plenty more,
yeah.
I'm sure.
You'll have more inputs.
Here's my last input on this part right here is when I was living in Tacoma, I lived in my own studio apartment, very small. I was eating out a lot. And it wasn't about eating out at like fast food, but I was going to the grocery store that I could walk to, which was like a quarter mile from me, and picking up stuff and cooking it that night and then going back there the next day, and which was kind of fun. I still did that afterwards. But she honestly said, "Have you ever made a menu?" And I go, "Why? I'm not a restaurant." I was like, "Who am I feeding?" She goes, "Yourself." I was like, "No." So she helped me establish a menu on this same format. Like, what do you want to eat for the week? What kind of items are you going to have that go in multiple dishes?
Yes.
Those types of things. So I was like, oh, okay. So I wrote those down, and Winco is very close to me. No shout out for Winco, just it was the closest, and I would buy the protein that was on sale.
Yep.
I went protein on sale. And I would put it in my freezer and go forward. The cool thing going forward from there was not only did I have dinner for that night, I had lunch the next day ready.
Yep.
I had dinner easy to cook the next evening. I had breakfast going on. I was like, I didn't have to think about those things.
No.
All I had to do was wake up and just do what I wrote down. And the cool thing is, if Wednesday you have something that you have on the menu and it's Tuesday, eat it on Tuesday if that's what you want. You can move it around.
Right.
That's not the point. You don't have to wait till Wednesday to have what you're looking to eat. And I think that was the beauty of doing that. And I think I wrote my menu out at that time 14 days out.
Yeah.
Because I did it payday to payday. Because
Right.
I was paycheck to paycheck for a while. I think everybody is. That's middle class like us human beings.
Yeah.
But paycheck to paycheck, whatever that means, whatever gap it is, go from paycheck to paycheck. I was like, if you get paid every week, then you should have a 7-day menu.
Right.
If you get paid every 2 weeks, have a 14-day menu.
If you get paid every month, do not have a month menu.
No.
Your stuff will go bad.
Yes.
I was a state worker. Don't do it.
But some of your staples
Right.
you can keep for the month.
Correct.
So
Your
I mean,
pantry staples, yes.
yeah. So, but the cool thing is, if you do it once, if you do this menu once, because the first time you do it can take some time,
Yes.
but the second time you do it, it takes like 5 minutes.
Yes.
The third time you do it, you don't even have to think about it.
No.
It's already done. You're just like, oh, I'll just do what I did last week, or do it the last 2 weeks. I was like, perfect.
And so
that's me.
Here's my issue when it comes to making a menu is my family's not picky about what we eat, but I am. I will rarely have the same thing twice in a week or 2 times, even once every 2 weeks. It's like, it's not going to happen. Every 7 days is a new menu because I love to create stuff. And even when I make a menu, sometimes we call them kitchen sink meals.
Oh, for sure.
And that doesn't even tell you what's in it. I go through my fridge and I say, I'm going to take these ingredients and I'm going to make it into a meal, and somehow it turns out okay.
More than okay.
Or I'll make a gumbo and it's not really a gumbo. It's just like, this is my interpretation of the ingredients we have in the house today, and this is what I have and this is what's on sale. So I turned into a
I'm not a historian,
gumbo.
but I feel like isn't that where gumbo kind of comes from,
Probably.
though? I mean, realistically, it's what do we have available where we reside? Mm-hmm. And I'm a big advocate of that. I'm not a big healthy eater person. I like to eat healthier than I used to.
Yeah.
That's kind of my process. But if it's local and it's grown local, it's probably good for you.
Right.
Well, that's kind of the thing we're doing. If it's not in season, then it's probably not something you should be eating at that time.
Right.
And so if we have some leftovers there and she does this kitchen sink in a wok, and I'm like, this is the most amazing thing we've eaten. So some of those things turn out to be some of the best recipes.
Yeah.
Because you experiment.
Yes. But for people who are not big on being creative in the kitchen, look up the recipes. So before you even plan your meal, right, before you plan your menu, find inspiration. Watch TV. Go online and follow an influencer and see what they're making. Open up a cookbook. I find it easier to find recipes in a cookbook than I do finding it online. Because when you're online, you have to look for something really specific. Or you can, search budget-friendly meals. But some of the stuff they put in budget-friendly meals, you're like, I don't want that much cheese or dairy in my life ever. And all it is just junk. So find recipes that really inspire where you're at, where your kids are at, where your family's at, and make the menu off of that. That's big for me. What else do I have? Oh, know your budget. Oh, that's always a fun one.
Not no as in N-O. No. Your budget.
No, your budget. Same.
Like, no.
I mean, either way you say it. Yes. So when you go in to prepare your meal, this is why I say shop the sales, especially if you're super budget conscious. We spend more money on food in this house than we do on anything else. That's our biggest expense.
By far.
Yeah, by far. So we also have 3 teenagers and a husband who does jujitsu and eats like he's 12 years old. It's insane. So I try to shop sales, but sometimes the stuff that's on sale is full of junk. And when you want the good stuff that's has 5 ingredients or less, you're like, you want $6 for a protein bar? That's flipping insane. So your menu is more than just dinner, right? Your menu is breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. So for a week, your family might not get the snack that they usually get because it's not on sale. Too bad. They'll adapt and they'll live. Buy what's in sale. Buy the fruits and vegetables that are in season. Super big one. Buy what's in season. Holy moly. I'm going to say it again. Buy what's in season. What else do I have? The other thing I recommend when you're shopping on a budget is go to your local farmer's market. I'm going to say this. I love our farmer's market, but it can be expensive when it comes to fruits and vegetables. I was in the Central Valley this weekend and they had produce. They had apples and oranges and avocados and cilantro, all organic for 99 cents a pound. 99 cents a pound. I don't think you guys understand how cheap that is for organic produce they just picked yesterday type stuff. That's when you still have decent, nutrient dense, amazing produce. So if you have a farmer's market, go check it out. Go see what's on sale. Make the effort to find out what's around you and what's at a good price and what's within your budget and what's within your health restrictions or your health decisions that you're making for that week, and shop accordingly. It's going to take a little bit of work the first couple weeks, but once you get down a routine, it's nothing. Making a menu to me could take me 5 minutes. I could legit make a menu for us in 5 minutes.
Now you can.
Yeah, well, probably for the last 10 years. I mean, again, I've been cooking for 18 years. I'm making menus for 18 years.
I mean, so realistically, it's taken the time initially to make the rest of it easy.
Yes.
And I think we forget that.
Yeah.
We do that in all other aspects of our life. Do we not? We want to make things efficient.
Yes.
So we make sure to set out our clothes at night if we don't get up on time.
Right.
We make sure and set alarms to make ourselves efficient. We do all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to our food, why are we not doing that?
I don't know.
So take the time initially to get everything kind of set up, and the rest of it takes no time at all.
Right.
And we're talking about making time to do the research good Lord. That means take 2 less thumb scrolls on Instagram.
Right.
And you can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes like 5. You think it takes a lot of time, but it's like 5 minutes.
All the grocery stores either
To
have
do the
an
research.
app
Yes.
or like their ads on their website. It takes 2 seconds to scroll through it.
And I'm talking about the farmers market. Like I love farmers markets, and I always have, but I never really understood. I never let myself understand why farmers markets were at certain times and different farmers markets in different places. But moving to California, I mean, I was a little spoiled being in the Northwest because farmers markets are up there too.
Yeah.
Because of the strawberries and apples and Northwest has amazing farmers markets. But in California, what's in season means that's what's good for you.
Yeah.
And I want to say follow the science. I wrote that down specifically, science. There's a reason it's not in season.
Right.
Why do you think that is? It's not in season probably because your body doesn't need that right now. It needs that in that other season.
Right.
So whatever, and there's no religion behind that. There's no anything behind that. There's just science. The way the planet is built, that's how it works.
Right.
That's why migration is a thing. That's why food is grown in certain areas. So if you're trying to have fresh apples in the middle of the desert, that's probably not in season for you.
Right.
That's probably not what you need. But in the Northwest, eat all the apples you can eat because that's where they're from. And then here, all the citrus fruits are everywhere
right
certain
now,
times a year.
Yep.
You know, it's like that's when you should eat them.
Yes.
So, and what's crazy is when they're in season, that's when they're not expensive.
Right.
Durr.
Right.
So pay attention. If it's on sale and in season, that's what your body should probably be eating. These are all opinions.
Yes.
I am not telling you this because I'm a nutritionist.
Yep. Nutritionist. I think the way you said that, people knew that you weren't one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nutrition, something.
Yep.
What's that even mean? What's nutrition mean? No. But realistically, it's like eat the stuff that it makes sense for where you live and what's going on, and it will fit your budget.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yep.
That way. It's crazy that way.
Is that what you had?
Yeah, I get excited about you talking about that stuff because I've learned so much from you because of that.
So I'm also going to say, when you're making your menu, I really feel like everyone should have a lazy meal. Like a meal that you can cook. And this, to me, does not mean use a bunch of boxed processed stuff because I am not. I understand it's easy. I understand it's less expensive. But I also understand the stuff that they put in it to make it easy and less expensive. And it's not always amazing for you.
Are you going to attack me on this one?
Oh, no, I'm not. I was going to, but I'm not.
All right.
So, like, for us, I make this thing called fancy pasta sauce. Fancy pasta sauce is amazing and is the easiest thing in the world you can make. You take... I have a bunch of Swiss chard, 3 bunches of Swiss chard that I'm putting in this dinner tonight. Onions, garlic, a jar of pasta sauce, whatever that you want, preferably without sugar because there's a lot of sugar in the added ones. And then you throw in a little bit of wine and you just let it simmer and let the Swiss chard cook down, and you eat it. We eat it with bread, or you can eat it over potatoes. It takes like 15 minutes. It is my lazy dinner meal where I'm not using a bunch of processed stuff and there's still good things in it and it takes no time at all. You should always have a lazy, healthy-ish meal. I really try hard not to use a bunch of like preserved, salted, that type of stuff because it's not necessary. So try to have a lazy, healthy-ish meal.
Here's what when she talks about lazy, this is called fancy pasta sauce. So it's fancier than anything like the normal stuff that we have. And it's 15 minutes.
Right.
So the fancy, I'm going to put my fingers up in the air.
Quote, unquote.
Yes. The fancy pasta sauce takes 15 minutes.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to put that out there. It's like, that's a thing.
And the cool thing is, especially with that one, I've made this, if you like, use king mushrooms so you can make it meatless, or if you want to throw in some sausage, brown up some sausage and throw it in there. Like, you can literally adapt it to anything you want. You don't even have to serve it over pasta. The other thing I'm going to say, and this is where I'm going to throw Scooter under the bus, make your own stuff. When I met Scooter, and this is not talking down on anybody who uses Bisquick.
Do it.
But when I met Scooter and he went to make pancakes and he pulled out a box of Bisquick and was going to add water to it. And I was like, what is happening? You know, like making pancakes is like 6 ingredients. Like it's legit 6 ingredients and it tastes 100 times better than this box of Bisquick mix. And it's cheaper. Same thing to me when it comes to making pasta. People assume that to make pasta is so hard. It's flour, eggs, oil, I think I said, and salt. 4 ingredients. 4 ingredients is all it takes to make fresh pasta. It is not a hard process. Again, you can make pasta in like 20 minutes. It does not take a long time. So I think when you're making your menu, be okay to be out of your element and try and fail some stuff. It's okay. You'll have a backup. Again, you plan for 5 to 7 days or maybe 14. So if you screw up one meal, make the one for the next day. And then maybe you have to go to the store and fix it. But I feel like if you have the staples in your house, you're going to be fine to make a few meals. Even if you mess one up, you'll be fine.
So I want to look at what would be, I'm trying to figure out like the 3 main things that people need to hear when it comes to how to make a menu. Because once you get past 3,
I know.
I get confused.
Okay.
And because I'm small-minded.
First thing, make a plan, right? Shop. So like the 3 things are going to be like branched out, but shop your ads, shop your sales, know your diet. To me, that's my plan. The second thing is know your budget. So like if you're only at like $100 this week, don't go fancy. Make some meatless meals because they're way cheaper than having meat in your meals. Or find a meat that you can cut up into tiny pieces and like spread it out through multiple meals. We've done that before too. And the third thing is that know your time frame. If you don't have time to sit in your kitchen and make an hour-and-a-half meal, which I truly don't know who does, find meals that you can adapt to your 30 minutes to be in the kitchen because they exist. But do not Google 30-minute dinners because, again, it's a lot of boxed products. Just make it happen in 30 minutes. You can. You can make fancy pasta sauce in under 30 minutes. You can make fresh pasta in under 30 minutes.
Oh, for sure.
You can make chili in like 30 minutes, realistically. You don't have to use dried beans if you use canned beans. You can legit make chili, a really good chili in 30 minutes. There's no need that your time frame has to be this hour and a half.
There's some amazing things. So there's some amazing things that Sarah has in her arsenal for cooking dinner, that any meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, that our children have taken upon themselves. Making pasta is not a long process. No, it is not. Making pancakes from scratch, not a long process.
No.
Making bread from scratch, not a long process. So if you want, this is just me putting it out there into the world. If you want to know any of this kind of stuff and get maybe some tips, tricks, anything like that, hit us up on the social media.
Please.
Sarah and Scooter, that's our Instagram. Sarah and Scooter at gmail.com. That's our email. If you're listening to this, you can easily find me, easily find Sarah. Please reach out because this is a very strong passion of hers.
It is.
And she really loves to help other people do these things out of the kindness of her heart. So please ask. She will help you. Fact.
Like if you ever want a meal plan and say, hey, this is my budget. This is what I have. These are the stores I have to shop with. I can help you plan out a meal. Super easy.
And she doesn't do it because she feels obligated. She loves doing it.
I love it.
So please reach out to us, and I will direct it directly to her.
Thank you.
And we'll go from there.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Because seriously, those are things that have actually saved my health, saved my lack of energy, lack of concentration. You saved my life when I lived in Tacoma when it came to this, and then to here. So thanks, babe. That means a lot.
You're welcome.
That means a lot.
I feel like I talk super fast, and I apologize.
No, fast is good. If you need to slow down the podcast, I think that's an option on all the podcast places. So work with us.
Yes.
We'll work with you.
Please.
So Thanks. Do you have anything else when it comes to making a menu?
I'm sure I do, but I'm going to stop it there. So again, like if you want to talk menus with me, talk menus with me.
Seriously, she will hit us up. I mean,
Anyway.
It'll be her.
Yeah.
But hit us up. We really are available to chat about any of these topics going before or after.
Yep.
We have our own email address that's both of us. We have our own Instagram that's for both of us, so you can DM us anytime, and
Yep.
we will listen. So, thank you so much for the Advise Me Not. We are on to our last segment of our podcast, which is...
Shout out!
Shout out!
Woo!
What's your shout out for the week, for the episode?
I know it's a
Episode?
shocker, but I have two of them.
Oh my gosh. Can I go first then?
No!
Okay.
Okay. So my first one is I'm stealing from your good things. I just want to shout out Off the Dice, which is part of our podcast network. They are three awesome human beings, one being Scooter, that just when they get together is so much energy and joy and just happiness and silliness that when they do their next one, you guys better listen. Like when they air it, listen and go back and listen to the old ones because it's hilarious. So that's my first shout out. The second one is I just want to say I'm going to say it for my siblings. Thank you for all you guys do to help take care of our mom, who's been through some stuff in the last couple years. But for anyone out there who's helping take care of their parents, shout out to you, because it is so much work. And I feel like sometimes you can get so down on yourself for not doing enough, or your parents for not like really pitching into their own recovery, that it can be hard. So shout out to anybody taking care of their parents and unfortunately having to see how much it sucks to watch your parents get old.
Oh. Dang.
Yeah.
See why I wanted to go first? Because mine's light.
That's good. We'll end it light.
We'll end on a light note.
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah. Thank you for that, because those two things mean a lot to me. My shout out, personally, I have to give it out to a couple of specific people, but they are both part of the same company. Mine is to Slugfest Games. Reason being is they're the company that makes the Red Dragon Inn board game. It's been around for 13 years, going on 13 years. And it is one of the most easy, fun to play games that I've ever come across in my life. And I run a board game company. Yeah. And it's the instructions are easy. Anybody can play. Yes, it's about drinking, but you don't have to actually drink.
Right.
So even my children play it, and it's very fun. You get characters and all this stuff, but it's not about the game. I have to really put that out there. It's like when I love a company or love something that somebody does, it's the people behind it that mean more to me than what they produce. And these guys, I have to say, Jeff, I've met him a few times. I want to say a couple, but now a few times. It's been a while because the conventions have tapered off considerably.
Yeah.
The gaming ones. But meeting Jeff for the first time and then for the second time, third time, great human being. We've kept in touch over the years. He's the president of the company. Thank you so much, Jeff, for just being available to human beings and also consistently putting out amazing, fun, interactive, community-driven products. That's a big deal to me. And the other person in there is Jen. Thank you so much for being so accessible. Every single time that I send you a message, you're responsive. You give me the real response. You don't just make up a bunch of crap and say, hey, that sounds good. You're giving me grit. You're giving me happiness when it's really a happy moment. You're giving me real answers and real community work. So we are working decently close with Slugfest Games, especially when it comes to Red Dragon Inn, with our company. And just because you're good people, I love talking to you. So that's my shout outs. My shout out would be Slugfest Games, especially Jeff and Jen. Thank you so much.
Very cool.
So On that note, I think we're at the end of this episode.
We are. I said way too much.
That's what we needed, though. So if you need more of that information, hit us up, guys. Until then, make sure and check us out, all the past episodes, the next episodes, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
If not, that's cool.
And we'll be back.
We'll be back next time.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Okay, let's talk about Ep4 Consulting. They help you create so many things. A perfect personal statement, application essays, presentations. They help create writings that truly represent you. They've got writers, editors, and even researchers. Ep4 Consulting can make all your stuff easy to read, understandable, and enjoyable. They truly take editing to the next level. Not only do they have flexible rates, they also offer assistance with college applications and job seeking. Check them out at ep4consulting.com and get a free consultation.